Alright, and welcome everyone for another MM3 tournament match. So tonight will see Riley versus Cynan. Pretty interesting match, honestly. I'd say Riley has an advantage because of EBs, but I'm pretty sure you can see great gameplay for Cynan too. So hopefully have a good race here. So they're about to be ready. Anytime soon. I mean, yeah, should be good soon. But yeah, so I think we're gonna see actually two different routes. This game has different routes, I'd say 3 main routes. Gemini first, Magnet first, and Top first. Top first being the fastest, but the hardest. And Magnet first probably the second most popular route among us. Among the intermediate players. Alright. The race started on their side, so we should get a countdown soon, hopefully. Alright, here we go. So I believe we're gonna see Riley do Top first and Cynan do Magnet first, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there you go. So we see 2 different routes. It looks like Cynan forgot his timer. That's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, so for Top first, like, you start with like the 3 most difficult stages right away. Top, Shadow, and obviously Gemini. So right away we're going to see some pretty, I'd say, sweating moments, especially with Shadow later on. Magnet first, the big issue is that you have Gemini in 5th, and Gemini is a very rough stage, but otherwise only the Magnet fight can be scary in races situations, so we'll see how Cynan does here. So far, ooh, Cynan, like, if you get hit by those high balls here like that, at this specific spot you get stuck for a bit. Nothing major though. Plus he's still full health, so this is still good. Riley having a bit of trouble mashing the cats. Those cats are pretty rough to mash. Like, ideally you want to kill them in 3 jumps, if possible. It's possible to kill them in 2, but it's really rough. Right, and there is a pretty difficult section if you... I mean, not difficult, but scary section coming up here. So you can do... Ooh, that was close. Okay, you can do this jump without waiting, like by going under the last top platform. But he opted to not do it, which is pretty good. Okay. It's pretty scary for Cynan right now. He should be fine. So Magnet has like 2 different patterns. He can freeze like that, or he can jump. Ideally, you want him to freeze and take D-boost on him. The problem is he took too much damage and messed up a few shots, I think. So he had to wait on the froze to end because he could not take the damage and pick it up. And there you go. They're both down with their first stage, so Riley going up on Shadow now. Shadow is really... It's a really fun stage, honestly. Especially the Dark Room coming up after this Proto fight right here. The only big issue with that stage is the parachute section at the very end. We're gonna see that really soon. Meanwhile, we see Cynan on hard with the beads. Oh, he messed it up. So there's a specific timing you wanna shoot those magnets to actually get the bees. to kill the bees, and he is going to use Rush Coil to kill the last bees, but unfortunately he kinda... like, all the timing is a bit messed up, so he didn't know what to do here. So he kinda just let the bee fell and just go, which is... it works, I guess, but he's pretty low now, that's the big issue. And as we were talking, we'll see Riley going to the parachutes. We'll see how he does it. This is a very scary section, so he's probably going to play safe on them. Yeah. Ooh, that was early. Yeah, so the problem with them is their hitbox is pretty big, and when you wait, you... like, let's say you don't slide under the parachute. Normally, the usual strat is like you A plus B and do a turn back. So some kind of a wiggle to be optimal. But you want to wait longer in case the... because of like the weird wiggles that the parachute does. As you can see, he goes back and he went for it in the very last one. That's like the slide he did at the end is usually what you want to do on every of the platforms. But that's pretty risky, so... unfortunate death, but it didn't cost the team too much though. And pretty good shadow fight as well. Meanwhile, we see Cynan on the proto fight. He probably will take the HP, I'm guessing. Yeah, because he's too low. Technically, this is not faster to do that. Like, basically, he took the HP because he wants to kill... he wants to do the quick kill for Hardman. Hardman has a stun animation that he does when he touches the floor, but you can cancel it by taking damage as he does that. But you need at least 12 HP to do it, so there you kind of cancel that here. But it doesn't really save any time because the time... you only save about a second, I think, from doing that. Or second and a half. But you lose that time from going from the health in the end, so... not a very... I'd say it's even. But yeah, at least he's done with it, which is good. So... we have Riley on Gemini, which is probably technically the most difficult of all three. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong, especially in this first room. That was a pretty good first room, honestly. Let's see if how he managed to do this section. The first tadpole section. You can do a zip here. He's gonna go for it. He unfortunately slid too early, so he missed the tadpole. Like, when you, after a slide, Mega Man just goes into the tadpoles for like 4 frames, and you wanna get hit in that 4-frame window to get zipped into the ceiling. It saves, I think it saves like 2.5 seconds or something like that. In the meanwhile, Cynan on the top stage, so the third stage as well, significantly easier on Magnet first because you can use Magnet on the cats and you kill them really quickly. You unfortunately miss a Magnet, and one of the Magnet actually hit the ball, unfortunately, so he missed the quick kill. But as you can see, it's like way easier to use Magnet right there. Oh yeah, also, I didn't talk about that, but Riley skipped the animation here. He despawned the music as well, and Gemini, I forgot to talk about that. But you skip the animation by, like, you slide at the very end of the first room, and what happened is like you skip the cutscene by falling, like the slide stops like at the very end, so you have time to jump into the hall. And basically that skips the entire music and saves about... I'm not sure about... it saves like a lot. I'm not sure how much it saves, but it saves a lot and makes all the rooms significantly easier to deal with. That's also why you really don't want to die in that stage, because if you die, the music comes back, and all the things are different because there's like a bunch of lag. Because yes, music makes the game lag. It's a pretty unoptimized jumps. Unoptimized game for that. Alright. In the meanwhile, we see Cynan on top still, and he actually went for the jump at the end. As you can see, he got boosted to the right. That's how the top works, because the top kind of wiggles left and right. So when you go under it, you get a boost to the right. And now that Riley is done with the 3, I say very hard stages, we got kind of a short brief with Needle. It's a pretty easy stage. Nothing crazy can happen. The only really bad thing that can happen is either in this room or in the boss fight. And he should be good. He is like almost full health. Yeah, no big deal. Alright, nice. This section can be scary. Yeah, there you go. That's why it's scary for Riley. Normally, you're not supposed to take damage twice. You want to take damage once and then just jump over and basically slide into him into iframes to avoid damage. And when you're low, this can be quite scary. Same for this fight right there. Needle can be quite scary if he gives double high jump, and you can easily get what we call a nodule laser. When the laser just is on the screen and you can't switch until the laser is on screen, and it causes a lot of lag. Because the Gemini laser is like 3 separated sprites, so it causes like a million of lag. So those two routes are basically gonna should like sync up on, I think it's on Spark. Yeah, it should sync up on Spark. So whoever goes to Spark first is on the lead. I believe, I'm not sure who is on the lead because I think Cynan didn't die, but Riley did. But that was not a hard death, like a huge death. So we'll see about that. Alright, so here we're skipping the snakes. Normally you have to kill those big snakes, but you can just fly over very easily with Rush Jet. And it's a pretty decent kill from Cynan there. Shadow can be quite scary because he can drain all your ammo with Top. Top is a very bizarre weapon when if you try to hit him into iframes, when you're on iframes, basically it drains all your top emo really quickly. And sometimes you can basically be screwed and have to use either Buster or something else. In the case of Cynan, you can use Hard Knuckle, but that's not really good. Fortunately, he didn't have to do that. Alright, coming up on the last section of Snake here. So we're going to see a nice trick soon with Rush Jet. So we're gonna jump all the time at the top. What it does is, because Mega Man is not being drawn on the screen, you actually save some lag. You also don't want to make sure to jump too high, because if you jump too high, you may actually spawn those weird cloud platforms, because Mega Man kinda warps up to the bottom, so... And Snake has 3 different patterns. Ooh, he's quite low, he should be fine though. Okay, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. Alright. So Snake has 3 different patterns. He can stop at 3 different locations, either at the top, at the middle, on the left side, or he can just not stop at all and keep walking. Usually you want him to not stop because it's faster. The worst is when he stops on the left, because in this game you want to kill enemies, boss fight, I mean, on the middle, and you also want to kill, you want to be on the center, and you want to kill boss fights in the center, if that makes sense. So Cynan taking the safety E tank, so he used this screen warp mechanic, well, glitch or whatever. I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's considered to be a bug, but it's definitely a bug. But yeah, you can use that to safety grab E tanks like that. It's pretty clever, especially considering you can very quickly take damage on the later stages. So Rally having a bit of trouble with the eyeballs, nothing too major though, he should be fine. Magnet is definitely easier because you have Rush Jet to pass the... Well, it's faster and easier because you can use Shadow Blade, and you also have Rush Jet to cross all over this Yoku block. Ooh, he's fine. He lost a bit of time because he didn't, like, got to rush right away. But that's alright, that's alright. So here we see him despawning rush. This is also a mechanic that we use in the speedrun. This is technically a glitch. Like when you slide and press the menu, you actually despawn every kind of instance of rush on screen, because the game thinks you have to menu, but you can't because you're sliding. So as we talked about, oh, that is pretty scary. He should be fine. Okay, that was kind of scary. So he got the good pattern, but he didn't react it well. So he took a lot of damage, and yeah. Fortunately, he didn't die, so that's alright. And we see here you Cynan using magnet on the cannon room in Needle. That's a very fun room to do in this route, because you can basically use magnet the entire time till the end, and it's pretty fun. Alright, and here same. So here it's actually easier because you can use Shadow Blade instead of having to time the magnet shots. It's only one Shadow Blade, so instead of like 2 for the magnets. So, and you don't really have to time anything except the number of slides you're doing. So it's definitely easier here. And you also don't have to mash. Oh yeah, it's 3, my god. It's not 2, yeah. Thank you, Kinster. Alright, I didn't sell the needle fight, unfortunately, from Titan, but he's done with it. And here we're seeing Riley using a rush jet strat, rush coil strat. This is actually pretty hard because the thing with Rush Coil is you have to summon it first, and you can only shoot 2 Buster Shot instead of 3 on screen. And he unfortunately didn't manage to summon Rush in the right spot, so he didn't really save much time with that. But the good thing is he can use Shadow Blade for this proto fight here, and it's a bit easier to kill him with that, because Shadow Blade deals 2 damage instead of 1 with the Buster Shot. So he's also going to tag the health as well. Alright, he should be fine. Meanwhile, we see the same snake stage. It's actually pretty close. I'd say... I'm not entirely sure of the lead that Riley has, because he's in the lead right now, for sure. Because, he's going to Spark after that stage. And Spark is the last stage of the A-Robots. So, and then right after that, Cynan is also gonna do Spark. So, I think. Yeah, he's doing Spark after that, so... I'd say it's about like half a stage difference, so it's like 40 seconds-ish. But yeah. So this is probably the easiest of the A-Robots. It's the same for both routes. There's nothing crazy that happens. Oh, unfortunate death for Cynan there. It's not too big of a death though, but still losing quite some time, unfortunately. Say like 25 seconds-ish. It's not too bad though. Could have been way worse, like at the very end of the room, for example. Nice. Oh, he didn't got the... So, Rally here tried to get a back deboost. I'm not sure if it's his strat to do it, but normally you're supposed to get a back deboost here. But he managed to still get it into iframe, so that's the plan here, so he got it. So here we're gonna use the magnets to kill the first block. There you go, and then switch to Shadow Blade. Ooh, a bit of a... Okay, he made it. He unfortunately didn't mean to slide Cynan here. He wanted to end up on the top platform, but he accidentally slid and wasted a couple of frames by not standing in the middle. Not too major though. I will see what rally patterns. Oh, we got the God pattern, but messed up the Shadow Blade. Oh, that's unfortunate. But that's fine. He only lost like 2 seconds probably. That's unfortunate. The good thing with this pattern is he stands in the middle, so you take damage twice, and you ends up on the middle, and you kill him right into the center as well. That's like a very quick cutscene you get if you do it really well. He unfortunately messed up one of the shots, so he had to like improvise. But yeah, he's now done with the A robots. So let's start now. So you can start all the dogs in any order because you don't get any weapons from them. So, but we're gonna see probably the same order, which is Dog Gemini, Dog Shadow, Dog Needle, and Dog Spark. So this room here is really notorious to kill runs a lot. This is a very difficult room. So Riley is playing it pretty safe here, and I really don't blame him because it's a very difficult and a lot of drops can kill you if you go for all the slides and all the risky stuff. So, and I think that was still a pretty fast room, honestly. So he's doing a pretty good job. This is probably like, once you pass this room, there's only like one water room that's kind of scary, and once you pass that, it's relatively fine, but yeah, it's a pretty tough stage to execute. Meanwhile, Cynan gets the worst pattern on Spark. Pretty unfortunate. This pattern is really bad because you basically can't really avoid getting hit on the third jump. He managed to go to the left, but he unfortunately lost time by doing so. And meanwhile, we're fighting Dog Flash. Pretty good fight. There's a bunch of ways to kill that guy. It's gonna be way too long to explain all of them. I might go in more details as Cynan goes also in Dog Gemini as well. But yeah, it's way different than the Flash in Mega Man 2 for sure. So Riley taking the safe approach on using Rush Call, which is totally fine. It makes this room a bit slow, but definitely completely free for sure, because all you gotta do is just like fire a couple of shots and just do your good ride. So let's see how Cynan do this first room here. See, up to do a lot of walking, which is also I think he plays a bit more aggressively than Riley did. I think I'm not entirely sure, but still pretty good too. Didn't take a lot of damage as well. So, and he gets the snipe, pretty good. Got 2 bubbles on Dog Bubble from Riley, which is the second best pattern. The difference between, like, you can get 1 or 2 or 3 bubble just like Mega Man 2. Oh, Cynan unfortunately killed the platform tadpole here. So the tadpole, you can only have 3s on screen, by the way. I didn't talk about that, but you can have 3 on screen. So the plan is you spawn 3 tadpoles at somewhere, and you keep mashing to avoid drops. So here for Rally, on Dark Shadow, you do at the very start music despawn setup. So the way it works is you actually trigger a death as you start a screen transition, which basically cancel your death, but the game still thinks you died. So it kills the music and saves around 2.5 seconds, somewhere around there. But it makes this section way easier because there's like almost no lag, especially those jumps here. Those platforms are a bit awkward. You can stand on them for a few frames, and after you're falling, so you can actually slide on them. They're called clutch jumps, but only like the top runners does that. And it's also very difficult. I mean, not difficult, it's just very scary. Right, so let's go for the wood fight. So he missed the first shot. You can get a first shot into the leaves if you time it really well. Ooh, we got a second cycle. That is pretty uncommon, but you managed to not get a second hit. This boss hits like a tank. Honestly, it's very, very bad to take damage from this boss. But unfortunately, we have to, unless we do some alternative strats. I don't think we're gonna see that on this race, unfortunately. But yeah, he managed to not die, which is good, and he has a lot of health for the incoming Dark Heat. So same as Mega Man 2, you can basically activate itself every 30, 60, or 90 frames, so you want all the 30 as you can. That was a really good fight. In the meanwhile, I think Cynan got the music despawn, looks like. Yeah, it looks like he got it. So we opt to do the Rush Jet strat, which is also a pretty neat beginner strat as well. And a very safety strat. Pretty clever. So you use also the same mechanic as a Snake. We're also gonna see that in that stage, actually. That Riley is on. Oh, missed menu from Riley here. So Simon killing Doc Wood, nice. So you ends up with the fight really low. That's like the classic, because you take damage twice and he does like a lot of damage. And here we go. Probably one of the trickiest fight, I'd say, in the docks. Dock Air. It's just as annoying as it is in Mega Man 2. Ideally you want to kill him in 2 cycles, but I think we're gonna see, yeah. At least he didn't take too much damage, so that's good. But that's a very difficult fight to do well. There's like a bunch of, there's like 5 different patterns, just like in Mega Man 2. But the patterns you want in Mega Man 3 are the ones that are bad in Mega Man 2, because you can actually slide under the tornadoes in this game, unlike Mega Man 2. So here, same mechanic. We just jump over the top to save some lag. But you also jump here to try to manipulate the dragonflies so they track you down and they despawn, basically. So it saves them more lag as well. Alright. Oh, he took damage. This can happen when you go slide too fast on Riley's sides here. If you kill this mini boss too fast, I mean, if you slide into the mini boss too fast, you get hit, but you don't take damage because the boss is already dead. It's not I'm not sure why this happens, to be honest, but yeah, it happens. Alright, so let's go for Doc Crash. So Doc Crash is a pretty easy fight most of the time, especially if you're like if you have a lot of health. You just have to be careful to not mistime your shot, because this fight can be quickly out of hands, especially if he does a bunch of high jumps. So Cynan barely missed the G-cycle. He got a much cleaner fight than Riley though. So he saved some time here a bit. And here we go, already on the last Doc. Again, probably not, like, just stage aside, I'd say it's probably the easiest stage of all 4. But the last fight is pretty tricky, like Doc Quick. We have to see Doc Metal first, which is the first fight. But ideally, it's not the hardest of all 4, definitely. That's why it's put last, but mostly people do this harder because, like, all the people does that. There's not really, like, at first this harder has been defined because of how hard they are, but because people does it, everyone does it. Pretty much, it's only the reason for the most people. Alright, nice fight. Ideally, you want to end as far to the right as possible, but some of the jumps can be tricky to avoid. Oh, he tried to go for it. So you can actually go for a music despawn here. You didn't get it here. I didn't saw what pixel he was on. There's 2 pixels you can get with this. It's actually pretty risky to go for in a race, but there's also a reason why this one is way riskier, is because the checkpoint is only down there. So if you die going for this music despawn, you actually have to redo the whole first half, which was about a minute. So he didn't got it, unfortunately. So as I said, it's like 2 pixels. A safety that's like 50-50, and a risky one is like 86%. But you have like, yeah, like I think it's 83% and 17% of dying. Ooh, he's probably gonna E-tank, I think, Riley here. Oh, he died, no! So yeah, this fight is pretty tricky. He might have died intentionally, I'm not entirely sure. But he should have E-tanked, probably. But that leaves Cynan some window. Of course, really good second fight. Always after you died. But this fight is pretty tricky because like you wanna ideally get hit by the boomerang because it does like this does like 2 HP, but the body does 8, so and there's Breakman. Oh, you messed up the menu. You can menu here and saves the Mega Man animation, but you unfortunately menued too early. Right, so Cynan does not go for the music despawn. Fair. And here's the best eyebrows in video games. Here you go. Get your eyebrows in chat if you have them. Let's go. Alright, and here it is, coming up on Cynan side very soon. The quick fight. He has more health because I think he played a bit safer. I didn't know exactly what he does, but he probably took damage from the screw instead of the electrical. Ooh, he took damage right away. He should be fine. Yeah, there you go. Good. So I didn't talk about it, but I think Riley tried to take the E-tank, but he unfortunately jumped too short and missed it. That was a pretty unfortunate jump. Well, he just jumped like really far and wanted to set up himself to be right on the pixel as he fell. Wally 1 is not really hard. The only hard section I didn't talk about because it was way too quick is oh, he missed rush placement. Okay, he's fine. But yeah, the water section he was on earlier, you want to take damage and slide into the spikes with iframes so you don't die and save some time as well. And there's now probably the most RNG boss fight in the entire game. So you want the turtle generator to go to the right side because it's faster. But he unfortunately gets a lot of left here, which is not good. Okay, one right. So the direction the turtle spawns is always the same. It's like left, right, right, left, right. So that's scripted. The runners knows it. So Cynan takes the E-tank here. The one that Riley missed, unfortunately. I think he's fine. This game has like a lot of E-tanks. Like you always ends up with like, if you don't use any, you always end up with at least 1 or 2. Mostly because of Wally 2. Wally 2 has like a bunch of E-tanks. So Wally 2 is a pretty like scary stage because of the spikes here, and mostly because if you die into that stage, there's no checkpoint, so you have to redo the whole stage again. It's a short stage, but yeah. Dying could be bad. So there you go, all the E-tanks, as I said. And here's our friend. Can we get the easy devil? We'll see that. Meanwhile, we see Cynan on the turtles. Start with right. Nice. Oh, I laughed afterwards. Jinxed it. Dang it. That's right. That's not alright. Pretty good turtles, yeah. I was like, was that like four right? You unfortunately missed the last one. That's unfortunate. An easy devil from Riley. Let's go. So they're about like a stage difference. So it seems like it's a lot, but everything can happen in the refight, I'd say. Refight can be quite a disaster sometimes. So, although it's a pretty comfy lead that Riley has right now. We'll see. We'll see how Cynan does in this section right there. We missed the B. That's unfortunate. He should be fine though. The very big risk with missing the Bs is like you may sometimes it has some trouble though. He lost a lot of time here, unfortunately. But at least he didn't die, because something that can happen with the bees is how weird they behave and how laggy they are. So this can create a lot of trouble to slide after that. So here we see Riley using a glitch with Rush Call, sorry. So you basically one-shot this boss because the game forgot to check if when you're on Rush Coil or any kind of rush, I think. The game kind of forgot to check if there's lemons on screen. So as you switch back to top, the shots get the property of topspin, which basically deals damage every frame it touch the boss, so it kind of just one-shots it, pretty much. So it's pretty OP. Unfortunately, Cynan missed the Yellow Devil quick kill, so he's losing like 18 seconds, and it's probably gonna lose more like 25 because he has to probably take another phase. Never mind. So he lost like, I'd say 20 seconds there over Riley. Okay, nice fight. Riley is a bit low, but he might E-tank later on, or just take health if necessary. Well, he was a bit low, he's not anymore, but... yeah, he's taking the health. He's fine. Especially because this fight, this top fight, you have to take the health, because it's in your way. So... oh, he takes the pause! So this happens when you don't let the hard knuckle cross a little bit, like when it doesn't when you're like so close to the boss and just kill the boss, you stay on the hard knuckle pause for like 3 seconds, I think. We missed the freeze. I mean the froze skip on hard. Nothing major though. You should be alright. And we see Cynan doing the same good clone fight. And no duo for Riley. He should be fine. Okay. Pretty scary though. The big thing with that is you don't want to fire too much of your Gemini because you don't have a lot. So if you miss too much... oh, another one. You should be fine. Yeah, there you go. Bit of a brain fart on the menu here. Oh, bad pattern from Magnet. Oh, and he missed up the shot. That's fine. He decided to not take the health. Probably a wise decision considering he does not really need it. He can take like 2 damage from Spark. Well, doesn't mean it's not body, but he should not even... ooh. Yeah, he's fine. I thought he will miss the shot by trying to time them, but he just smashes out, which works too. All right, so Riley done with the refights. Meanwhile, we see Cynan starting the refights, and he's fine with Shadow. Shadow is like for me the scariest fight of all of them because if all your remo is just drained out in refight, you can't even go for the top kill. And, well, you can still do the safe strat, but you can go for the fast top kill in Gamma. So. Oh, Riley missing the quick kill. So this fight, you basically fired 2 snakes to the left, or to be faster to the right, to create lag, to basically mash the 7 shots as fast as you can to kill this wily machine in 1 cycle. Unfortunately, it was 1 short, and lost about 4 seconds probably. It's not a major time loss, but still. In the meanwhile, we see unfortunately Cynan missing the quick kill on hard, and he had to switch to another weapon to kill it, and he also had to E-tank, so he lost a bit of time from that. But I believe Cynan to be on PB pace right there. Could be wrong, but I think he is on PB pace. Because they're like, I think they're about, I'm not sure about Riley's PB, but GG from Riley, 3850, good. So I didn't talk too much about Gamma. We'll talk about it as Cynan goes to the final boss here. He gets the 3-jump pattern, which is way better in refight than it is in the stage. It's like it's the worst in the Spark stage, but I think the best. I could be wrong. I think it's the best on the refights. Not sure if the 1-jump is also better. And apparently Riley PB by 1 second. GG. Let's go. Let's see if Cynan actually also PBs there. I think he can. He's like on 30-ish, 40-ish pace. Oh, he missed. Oh, that's bad. He missed the entire cycle here by firing his 2 lag snake too early. So he has to use the backup, which is to use Rush Jet. He could have also used Shadow Blade, but I think he has to deal so much shots that it's probably better to use Rush Jet at this point. Which he did, of course. So yeah, I think we may see still a PB here. I could be wrong though. I'm not sure how much he lost. We'll see. Here we go, the Gamma fight. So the Gamma fight, again, I mean, again, I didn't talk about it. So you start off with Shadow Blades, then the next phase, you have 2 ways of doing it. You can use Snake, or you can use Topspin. And even with Topspin, there's like a multiple way of doing it. Oh, he missed the quick kill. He has to reuse it because he was too close. So the shots were already too far to be gone. And done. GG from Cynan with a race time of 41:04, and it's apparently a PB by 7 seconds. So GG for both. Both PB'd here. So Riley takes the first match. So we'll have a short break because there's like some technical issues apparently from Cynan's sides with the sound. But yeah, so both PBs here. We have 1 second PB by Riley and 7 second PB from Cynan. Let's go. Let's set up the... I'm gonna prepare the next room for the next race. Right. So I think Cynan is gonna restart his stream because he is having some live split issues. So hang on just a few minutes here. Meanwhile, we can have some jam. Hope you enjoy the snake jam. Let's go. Alright, looks like the problems are going to be fixed, so sorry about this little pause here. So now the runner should be... we'll still have to wait on the delay, but it should be alright. Hopefully. Alright. Almost there. Oh, right, there you go. Alright, so the countdown started on their side, so we should be good anytime soon right now. So just for the one that just joined, this game has like multiple different routes, and we're going to see runners do 2 different routes. So I'm gonna try to track who is ahead, but basically the routes gonna sync up all the way to the end of the aerobots on Spark, so that's what we're gonna look for. So Rally is gonna do top first, and Cynan's gonna do magnet first, so let's see that. Alright, here you go. 15 seconds. And here we go. So again, we are gonna see. Oh, Cynan takes an early death. That's unfortunate. It's not too big though, but that's pretty unfortunate. So as I was about to say, Magnet is not too bad at the very start. The only thing that's kind of scary is the fight, because you wanna avoid well, dying, because you have to take a lot of damage, so you usually ends up the fight with like very little HP. That's why you really want to avoid taking damage in the stage. And for top, when you do top first, the thing is you kind of also want to avoid damage because you need to deboost a few times on the fight. But the main scary section and races is not really the fight, it's more like the very last room that's gonna come up soon. And eventually those block slides if you do them, but here Rally just take it the safe way and decides to not do them, which is totally fair. But yeah, this from right here is why this could be a bit scary, but he goes for it. Let's go. What a Chad. I feel like winning the first race definitely gave him a bit of confidence, because he actually did not win for it first time. You can't, usually if you want to play safe, you just wait and just jump over. But here, if you just jump under it, you get a boost to the right if you jump at the right time, which he did, so you can still make it. And then here's a scary fight on Cynan's side, the magnet. So you want him to freeze, but not freeze too much. So he got a lot of jumps, so he should be safe. Yeah, it's definitely safe. That's actually a bad pattern there, because him jumping equals losing time. So he also died too, so he lost a bit more time, unfortunately. But yeah, so technically between the two routes, top first is faster, by the way. I didn't mention it, but top is definitely faster by a few seconds because you skip some section of rush. But the big issue with this route is the stage, because you have to do parachutes and the last room with top spin, And top spin is a pretty awkward weapon, especially when you use it against enemies, because when you press right as you use top spin, you get pushed backward. So, oh, and Cynan messing up the bees. So, ideally, you wanna land 3 Buster shots on those bees to be fine. 2 on the way up, 1 on the way down, or 1 on the way up and 2 on the way down. But there's like a multiple ways you can deal with the last bees. You can either despawn it, you can place rush coil later. And we see Riley going all in. Let's go. He played safe at the start, but went for all the parachutes at the end. Pretty good. I like that. So it's definitely risky because you may at times die if the parachute is too high, because those parachutes are not consistent. Like you have to react to the pattern you get. If they gives a high jump, specifically with high jump, you usually like either have to bail on going for the big jump. You have to go back and then jump. That's why the parachutes are pretty scary, especially in a race situation. Alright, so Cynan is gonna probably be able to do the quick kill here on Hardman. So Hardman has a phase when you actually get frozen, basically, just like that. So he unfortunately missed the skip. Ideally, you want to take damage as you get this froze, so you keep control of Mega Man and you can still hit hard. He lost about 2 seconds from missing that. It's not major, but also in this game, you wanna kill bosses as close to the center as possible, and also be in the center, as close to the center as possible. At least for the A-Robot. It doesn't matter that much in the docks because you don't get any weapons, so there's no animation for that. And again, we sing the music despawn from the cutscene. So yeah, for now, Riley is definitely doing really well. So he's gonna play safe here by taking the penguins hit. It's actually a bit slower, but it's a pretty safer play as you only take, I think it's 4 HP instead of 8 from the big penguin that's glitched out. It's like the cutscene you skip is and he goes all out. Oh no, he missed the dang. That was so swag. He went for all of the block slides. I think winning the first raid, this definitely gave him some confidence here. Really good gameplay though. Like he got all the first part of it. So now that he died, as you can see, there's not a music. That's what I was talking about in the first race. So now he has to deal with the lag that the music creates, which usually you're not used to. So either you use Marine like he does here, or you just go back and do the whole section without sliding, usually, because it's very weird to do block slides. This game has a weird frame rule system when you actually cannot jump out of a slide for the next 8 frames after a slide, so that's why those block slides are like really difficult. But yeah. Nice top kill from Cynan. You can actually kill this top with hard knuckle. You can actually kill top while ending in the middle, but it doesn't save that much time, and it's also significantly easier to kill him on the left side, so that's why he went for it here. There's like 2 different ways to kill that guy. It's like either you fire a knuckle early, or you just slide to him and deal 2. So it's kind of hard to say who is ahead right now. I want to say I want to say Riley is still ahead even though he died. It was not a big death. And Cyan also died too at the start. So it's kind of hard to tell who was ahead. So here it's pretty much like I don't want to say the break time for both runners, but they're not in a specifically hard stage. Like in Magnet first, Shadow is definitely not that hard. Oh, we having internet issues from Riley here. Let's switch to Sinan's audio if there's any. There you go. But yeah, this section in Magnet first is definitely completely free. The only thing you have to be careful about is the drops, and if you time your Magnet shots pretty well, this should not be that much of a bother. So we barely saw the end of Needle's fight from Riley. He seems like he was fine. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah. Alright, so I'd say it's kind of even right now. Well, I mean, almost even, because they all are starting their 5th stage right now. I think, yeah, because Snake is the 5th stage in top first. So the thing is, Gemini is a bit longer, I think. Then I think it's actually pretty even. Maybe a little bit longer. Not even. Yeah, it's a bit longer. Yeah, so it's very close. So I'd say Riley has like a very slight lead, but the lead is probably really close, or it's really hard to tell. I want to say it's close, but I'm not entirely sure. But the good thing with the Magnet first route is you can use Magnet on the second half of Gemini, which makes the section significantly easier than Buster, especially for the last Penguin, because the last Penguin, you have to mash a lot of shots very quickly to not get owned by the egg he drops. So, and the egg is also random. Sometimes he throws it late, sometimes he throws it early. And we see Sinan getting the zip here. Really nice. As I explained earlier, the zip happens because you get, as you exit the slide from the tadpole, you get stuck for 4 frames into the wall. And if you get hit during that window, you actually zip. And that's what he did here. Meanwhile, we see Riley on Snake. Oh, and he got that's the 8th frame window I was talking about earlier. So he unfortunately, I think he slid too late. And Cyan also takes a death. No, everyone's dying. So funnily enough, I think both runners actually lost nearly the exact same amount of time, because even though Riley died like later on this section, I mean later on the stage, that was like barely, he lost barely 20 seconds, I'd say. Same for Sinan there. The thing is, Sinan has to adjust his gameplay as well. He has lag to deal with. Alright, decent fight from Riley. Let's go. And Sinan about to start the Gemini fight. So here he throw 2 Shadow Blades, by the way, to manipulate the jump for the squishy here. If you don't fire any shots, you get hit. Like you can make it, but it's really tight. So firing 2 Shadow Blades is like the safer play to avoid having to time your jump like very, like basically avoiding the tie jump. Let's say. Alright, so Sinan is gonna add to, I think, I actually forgot. the route. I think it's not snake. Yeah, no, it's needle. My bad. I actually forgot the route. Amazing, but yeah, they're about, I want to say 30 seconds difference. So still not that big of a lead considering we have dark stages ahead of us right now. So and right there on Riley's side, this is why top first is faster, because you skip all the Yoku blocks that you do on Magnet first. Oh, he missed the ladder. Unfortunate. And Cynan take damage, we have to wait a bit longer. That's actually a good move, because if he didn't... Like, some people tend to, like, slide right away here after they took damage, and that's a really bad idea, because if you slide after that, you're gonna take more damage and lose more time, so... There you go. So Riley actually nailed the magnet fight this time. And that was the good pattern. When he froze, you take damage to cancel the freeze animation right away. And you kill him in the center. And you also ends up in the center as well. That's a very quick fight. And Cynan quickly getting rid of Needle as well. So they're both on their 7th stage right there, so... So technically hard is a bit shorter than Snake, so... I'd say Riley is definitely in the lead right now. There's no doubt. So the first section of hard is definitely easier on top, because you only use Shadow Blades, as we said earlier already. The really tight section is here with the monkeys if you go for the mash. And he goes for it, and unfortunately he kind of messed up because he jumped too late. So he was way too low to get all the shots. And the problem is, you actually lost a lot of time by doing that, like almost 4 seconds, because the lag it creates and the fact you don't kill the monkey. So it's I'm not sure if he actually lost 4 seconds exactly here. He might have lost less, but sometimes the time loss can go up quite quickly if you messed up something in this section. Although the big thing is to not take damage too much so you can do the quick kill at the end. And he actually nailed the rush coal placement, because this is actually an harder strat at the start, because you have to deal with Doozers without Buster, but with Rush Coil. But thanks to that, you can actually use Shadow Blades on this guy, which is cool and also easier. It's actually faster if you do it really well. I think it's a strat. I'm not sure who came up with that strat. I think it's Prissy, but I'm not sure. But he's one of the top runners that still does it to this day. But I feel like most people doesn't. Oh no! Riley actually missed a shot, so he thought he will be fine, but unfortunately he took an extra hit from hard and he died because he was, I think, 1 HP short or 2. And the thing is, now he doesn't have any emo to kill, so you have to switch to, I think, Shadow Blade works. So that's actually interesting, because now the lead is back to Cynan, actually, I think. Yeah. It's actually really close, though. I'd say it's like, I didn't check the times, but it's really close lead from Cynan right now. But yeah, Spark, not the hardest stage ever. There's a couple of scary sections if you do tight movement, especially on the moving block section, like right before you can do forward slides, and those forward slides can be scary if you go for all 4. But the safer plays you can do 3, just like Cynan did here. So Riley only going for 2 because he messed up the first one, and he dies also. Ooh, that hurts there. It's not that big of a death, but he definitely lost quite some time here. Because you have to do this hallway again and do the short room, so that's like 25 seconds around there. So now Cynan is in the lead, going for the fight. So you want to see Spark going into the middle, doing 2 jumps. We'll see if he gets it. Nope, 4 jumps. He tried to jump on the top platform to save some time. He unfortunately missed that. You can save some frames by doing so, because then you don't have this jump animation. Nothing major though. So 19-12. We'll see what Riley gets here. So you can slide on those ledges pretty safe. The first one is very safe. You just slide and hold the right, you're gonna be safe. The second one is not that safe, but you can go for it as well. And Riley gets the worst pattern, 3 jumps. Meanwhile, we see Cynan going to Dog Gemini. I think the lead is about 40 seconds. Yeah, it's 40 seconds for Cynan on the lead right there. So, Dog Gemini, this first room, very, very scary room, and also a very big run killer. Cynan plays it a bit safe, he doesn't slide too much, which is totally fair, because on the races this room can be quite scary. We'll see how Riley deals with the room. Ooh, Cynan actually didn't got all the shots in. That's because he didn't fire the 2 shots to give him more space to actually deal the shots. Like, you can shoot the 2 tadpole at the top to advance a little bit, and then kill the tadpoles easier. I mean, more easier. Alright. So he lost a bit of time with that. Nothing crazy though. Oh, Riley missed the shot. He almost got it though. That was really well played. He got the jump on the tadpole. Like, when you jump into the tadpole here, you have like a few frames to jump to and not get hit. And he got it, but he unfortunately messed up the last tadpole, and he fell back down. So they're both going to do the same strat with Water Room, just use Rush Jet and cross all the way around. So that's a pretty safe strat, considering this room can be quite scary if you do it with the D-Boost and Shadow Blades. I wonder if Riley... No, so I felt maybe Riley could switch strat, maybe if he knows if he is behind or not. Because he went for some pretty sweaty strat at the start that he didn't go for on the first race, so... Oh, he also messed up the jump, but recovers quite quickly. We'll see how many bubbles Cynan gets here. That's 2 bubbles, okay. He is a bit low, he should be fine though. Yeah, alright, nice. So he definitely lost some time compared to Riley here, so 20-25. 22-25, sorry. We'll see what Riley gets. Riley gets 1 bubble, best pattern, but he unfortunately messes up a lot. Oof. He also throws Shadow Blade to the right. And missed up another shot. That is pretty rough. So Sinan didn't went for the music despawn. Okay, I'm not sure if he messed it up. I didn't saw, or if he just simply didn't went for it. So you can, again, you can do a quick music despawn here to save some lag by triggering a death as you trigger a screen transition. Save some seconds. So Riley gets it here. Looks like. It looked good in the setup, so let's see. We'll see that very soon with the clutch jumps room here. So interesting strat for Sinan decides to switch to Needle early. He also plays safe by using Rush Jet, which is fair. It's a pretty safe strat, so you don't have to deal with those weird platforms as we see on Riley's side here. So nice first half for Sinan. So he got the first shot. That's like it's a bit tricky at first to get this first shot. You need to time. You can use the leaves as a visual cue to know when to shoot. So it looks like Riley kinda messed it up a bit again. And he also messed up one shot, so he is fine though. Ideally, you want to get 5 shots. There's a second strat you can use. You take damage from the short leaves instead of the body, and you save some life. And if you get 5 shots, you actually save time, because then the refill you take is shorter, so you obviously save some time with that. So unfortunately, no double from Sinan. You can get double if you hit on the same frame he appears, then you can trigger another shot again. Oh, so he took some time to select. I thought the screen froze. Okay, looks like Riley also messed up the double shot, so it seems like he got a better pattern though. Alright, so now on the obviously worst stage in the game, Dark Needle. Who likes Dark Needle? So Sinan plays safe by using Rush Jet. You can use Rush Core the entire time, but usually people use Rush Jet because they can also can take the E-Tank on the right side. I guess he didn't need it here, so he just simply grabbed the ladder right away. So air, another pretty tricky fight. Ideally, as I said earlier, you want to get a 2-cycle. So it's a 3 from Sinan here. Let's see how Riley does it. He does the rush strat, so it's the same same technique we use in Wally 3. We basically fire Lemons and then switch to Spark, but the Lemons on screen takes the probability of Spark. That's why you manage to hit him with a Buster shot and deal damage. And unfortunately, Riley got the Mega Man 3 pattern, but because he advanced too much, he actually got hit, so he didn't got the 2-cycle. Unfortunate grab from Sinan there. It's a very annoying mistake to do. He opted to take the E-Tank, which is fair because you have to menu here anyway to switch to Snake, so if you want to E-Tank, it's like the best way. And he can also then just deboost the big Mets, so he should be saved the entire time there. Unless some disaster happens. I don't want to jinx him though. Okay, that was interesting. He fired a few Snake to try to reduce the lag. Didn't end it quite well, but I guess that was a nice try. Really nice from Riley here. So the lead is getting shorter and shorter. Oh, the miss menu. Ooh. The lead is getting really close, guys. It's like the They have like maybe, I don't know, like 5 seconds. Okay, there you go. Nice kill. Let's see how Riley does it. Nice kill as well, in the center too. Let's go. So Cynan still has the lead, but not by too much though. I didn't show the teleporter time, but I felt like it looks like it's 5 seconds. So maybe a bit more than 5 seconds. Yeah, it looks like 6, yeah. So anything can happen at this point. Any deaths, anything, even like a tiny mistake could matter there. So, oh, Riley fired too early, so the Gemini shot was too low and he took damage by the enemy here. That's a very common mistake that even myself do a lot lately, so... So magnets, metal fight. Ideally with this fight you want to get as much short jump as you can. So Cynan does not go for, obviously, the music despawn. Let's see if Riley goes for it. He's not going for it as well. I think he was not even in the pixel anyway. Because I think he tried to go for it earlier, so that's why I'm gonna ask him if he wanted to go for it earlier or not. Because it looks like he wanted to go for it. So... we're going to see probably, I think, one of the trickiest fight in the game to me. Ooh, that was pretty risky from Riley here. I thought he slid too late, but he was fine. Should not be considered tie. Well, pretty much like we could like retime afterwards. So I guess not entirely sure on that kind of situation. Nice fight from Cynan there. Riley missed a couple of shots, he should be fine. As long as we take damage from the boomerangs, you're pretty much fine. There you go. So, no deaths on that quick, that's pretty cool. And break. Time break. Any Breakman splitters? So funnily enough, we can see that Cynan used the US version. The US version is actually a bit faster, but for convenience, we actually use the Japanese version because it's, for example, Dog Flash behaves differently in the US version. And other stuff. I think there's also the Gamma fight that's a bit weird with the US version. So yeah, that's not major though, but technically it is faster to use the US version. Alright, the water room, so we take damage so we can actually run into the spikes, slide into the spikes on iframe. We'll see that, we're gonna see that from Riley here, hopefully. He actually missed the back D-boost though, so he has to go to the top platform here and lose a bit of time. He is a bit low, but he should be alright as long as he doesn't take more damage. Oh, Cynan was a bit too low here to grab the ladder. Nothing major though. Alright, and here we're going to see again. Oof. Okay, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. That looked pretty weird from Riley's side. Alright. So we want to see this boss to go to the right because it's faster. So it's one of the most RNG boss in the game. All the turtles. So it looks like it's pretty decent so far. That looked pretty decent. Alright. Right from Riley again? I didn't saw the first, so... Nice red again. Oh, he missed the frog. So the direction they spawn is actually not random. So it's left, right, right, left, right. It's always the time they comes out that's random, and the time can be quite long sometimes. Alright, so I think the lead might bounce back depending on who gets the Yellow Devil quick kill. So for reminder, the Yellow Devil quick kill saves, I mean, not getting it lose about 18 seconds. And I think the lead is like about 10 seconds from Cynan right now. Oh, but Riley takes a death. That's oh, and a game over. Well, it doesn't really matter because there's no checkpoint, but his only chance to catch up right now is if Cynan does not get the Yellow Devil quick kill and he gets it, which is what happened earlier, for instance. But that's pretty massive. It's like about 30 more seconds that he lost. So Cynan's gonna take an E-tank. So the lead might be still the exact same, or like a little. It's not gonna change by that much if Riley managed to get the easy quick kill. We'll see. Hopefully Cynan gets the cycle here. Okay, gets it. Nice. $25. Let's see. It's gonna be hard for Riley to catch up here unless massive disaster happens, which can happen in the next room here, the second room in Wadi 3. This room can be quite a disaster at times. An easy quick kill from Riley. Let's go. So he definitely saved some time on Cynan here. About 20 seconds. Really nice. He didn't use Rush Coil, which is interesting. You can actually use Rush Coil right after this Crusher on Cynan's side. We'll see if Riley uses it here. But in the meanwhile, we're gonna see the glitch we've seen already earlier, so we basically fire Lehman's with Rush Coil and switch back to top, and the game actually forgot to check if there is any Lehman's on screen, so the Lehman takes the property of top spin and hits the boss on every frame, so it gets destroyed basically. And there's the refights. The first half of the stage is it's pretty tricky. Not that hard. You just wanna make sure to not take too much damage, because that could be a problem as you deal with the fights afterward. If your match is really good, you can actually destroy this section, but that's not everyone can do it. Alright, and here we go, Snake. Oh, yeah, he's gonna take the health here. So ideally you wanna be standing as close as the teleporter as possible with the boss fights. Shadow is a pretty scary one because if he sleep, you have to most of the time switch to Shadow Blade if he drains all your emo. But technically a slide is the fastest in refight because you are closer to the teleporter. But it's pretty scary. And we have the pause from Cynan here. So this happens because he was too close to top when he fired the hard knuckle. So he lost about 2 seconds. So they are he's about a fight ahead right now. So the lead is still pretty close. And okay, Cynan gets the kill. I mean the free skip. So there's still about a fight ahead. So pretty close. Oh no, he fired too late. That is no, and the laser is going wild. And another one! No! And he might die too. He has to be careful. And just like that, the lead bounced back to Riley. So he has to finish, he has to finish him with, Shadow Blade. Not really necessary, but I guess for a safer play. Especially with this guy right there. So it's still close, like, if one of them missed the quick kill and one gets it, this could be the difference here. So it's not over yet. Only a fight ahead. Ooh. Riley messed up a few shots here. And he might... Oh, okay, he's fine. Oof. No, he's not fine. He has to E-tank. Wow. What is happening here? This is so close. Go! Oh my god. Cynan back in the lead. What is happening? This is gonna be so close. It's gonna be on the... whoever gets the quick hit or not. So Riley almost got it earlier. A little bit of a wiggle here from Riley. Just to add more suspense to this situation right now. Alright, first phase. So the two phases are actually linked together, so you wanna be careful on what you're doing. No, Cynan missed the jump! Ah, that's unfortunate. He did the same mistake earlier too. And that's gonna cost him the race here. Probably. He's gonna heat tank too, so unless Riley dies on Gamma, which I hope not, but that's the only chance for Cynan to catch up at this point. So first phase with Shadow Blade, and the second one we either used topspin or Snake, and here we go, 40 flat. GG for Riley winning this match. Really close match. I mean, really close race. We'll see how Cynan does it. Cynan going around a bit. He might PB again, by the way. Just saying. And here we go. There you go. 40-25. Another PB. GG for buff runners. And let's see if we can have any interviews here. They really play really well. Both PB in this race. I mean, in this match. So we're just gonna wait here for the two runners to come here. But so that means that right now Riley is now gonna face Melliflows for the next loser bracket match. So it's also gonna be a very interesting match to look at. All right. We have Sinan here, so GG.
Seems I can't hear.
So I'm not
GG,
sure if
thank you.
yeah, GG. I'm not sure if Riley is gonna
Message.
came here. So I think Riley might just bail there for the interview, unfortunately. But yeah, GG to him for winning. Damn. Well, looks like we have problems here. Well, whatever. I guess no interviews then. We just got to see a few words from Sinan, I guess. But yeah, that was a good race. The next few races, there's actually a few that's already scheduled, I think. So we got in 2 days. We got.
Oh, I think I'm back. Yep.
Oh, you're back. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go. We still have. We can talk.
Yes.
I thought that's not gonna happen. All right. Well, GG anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Unfortunately, Riley is not gonna be here, but yeah, that was a pretty good performance for you. Double PB.
Yeah, if I can get the last run, I think I can get the sub 40 finally. So those were a good run, except for the deaths.
Yeah, there was some unfortunate mishaps left and right, but I definitely believe you can. Like, you could have definitely sub 40 in like the 2 race here, probably.
Yep.
Riley played really well on the first. He actually also played really well at the start of the second race. He took the lead pretty massively, I think, and then he just kind of died a few sections for going maybe take a bit of confidence here and there. And the second race was like really close. Like, you had the lead for like pretty much the entire time, all the way to the docks. Like maybe like he's around 10 to 6 seconds, I'd say.
Okay.
And he died in Wily 2, but he got the Yellow Devil, which you didn't. So then the lead was around the same. But in refight, that's pretty interesting. I believe you can, like, you could because, have definitely sub 40 in like the 2 race here, probably. Oh. But yeah, this could have could have been like a win.
I think this was definitely winnable until the end.
That was a really close race. Like, the lead kept bouncing around. That was that was pretty cool, honestly, to see. Like, you mess up one fight, but then he messed up one fight, so the lead kept bouncing around. That was pretty epic on that point.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely very cool ways. Unfortunately, like, the big problem was when you unfortunately messed it up, the Wadi 5 quick kill. Like,
yep, I did both races.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's what pretty much cost you the race here. Because you were like a little bit ahead after Wadi 4 by at least, say, 3 seconds perhaps. So if you would have kept that lead, the race would have been even closer. So yeah. But yeah, GG anyway. Double PB still.
Yep, definitely happy with that.
So do you have like any words, any thoughts on more thoughts on those 2 races?
Thanks for the commentary. I'm definitely gonna have to watch back that, especially the second race, because I saw a little bit that it was very close, but I probably missed a lot of the 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 change in the lead. That seemed
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah, what was interesting is like Riley played like a bit safe first race. Like for example the parachutes and Shadow, because he does top first. You both did different routes. So you did Magnet first and you did top first, but like he went for the parachutes at first and then he just kind of bailed on doing them on the first race. And then the second race he kind of just went wild. He went for the parachutes, the block slide, and Gemini. So it's like I don't know if he was watching the race or if he just gained confidence there, because he won the first race, which can give a boost in confidence just from winning the first race.
You're allowed to make a few mistakes.
But yeah, that just ends up being a very close race in the end. So
Yep.
But yeah, so as I was saying, we got some pretty epic races coming up in the next few days. We have actually in 2 days, on Saturday, 10 p.m. EST, Cassio versus Beko, two very high-level runners. It's gonna be a very interesting race to watch. And on Sunday, 5 p.m. EST, we have Fatso versus Green Mario, also two pretty high-level runners, especially Fatso. So it's gonna be very interesting to see all those races coming up. So, but yeah, I think we can stop here. And thanks SpeedGaming as always. And GG to both of you.
Thanks, GG. Good luck to Notriley for next race.
And alright, I think we can see you guys for other matches. You can also follow the runners. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us, and we'll see you guys for other race. All right.